Losing weight doesn't just get harder with age, it changes in ways most people don't expect. At some point, what used to work stops working. The same meals, the same routines, even the same level of effort no longer produce the same results. Progress slows down and frustration builds. Can feel like your body is working against you. But the reality is more specific than that. Weight loss becomes more difficult with age because several underlying systems begin to shift at the same time. These changes are gradual, often subtle and easy to overlook, but together, they affect how your body uses energy. Understanding these changes is what allows you to adjust your approach, instead of repeating strategies that no longer fit. One of the most important factors is muscle mass. As you get older, your body naturally loses muscle if it's not actively maintained. This process is gradual, but it has a direct impact on metabolism. Muscle tissue requires energy to maintain, even at rest. So when muscle decreases, your body burns fewer calories throughout the day. This means your baseline energy needs go down. If your eating habits stay the same, the balance shifts. What used to maintain your weight may now lead to gradual gain, or make fat loss slower than before. Another factor is activity level. Daily movement often decreases over time. Not necessarily structured exercise, but small movements throughout the day: walking, standing, general activity. These small actions add up and contribute significantly to total energy expenditure. When they decrease, overall calorie burn decreases as well. Hormonal changes also play a role. As you age, hormones that influence metabolism, appetite, and fat storage begin to shift. These changes can affect where your body stores fat, how easily you build or maintain muscle, and how your appetite is regulated. This doesn't mean weight loss is impossible, but it does mean the process becomes less forgiving. Sleep is another piece that often becomes less consistent with age. Poor sleep can disrupt hunger signals, increase cravings, and reduce energy levels. When you're more tired, you're also less likely to stay active, which further reduces energy expenditure. At the same time, stress can become more persistent. Long-term stress affects hormone levels and can influence eating behavior, recovery, and fat storage. It creates a background condition that makes consistency harder to maintain. Individually, each of these factors may seem manageable, but together they create a system where the margin for error becomes smaller. That's why repeating the same approach from earlier years often leads to disappointment. One of the most common responses is to try to compensate by doing more. Eating less, exercising more, pushing harder. But this approach can backfire. Reducing calories too aggressively can increase fatigue, reduce muscle mass, and slow down metabolic processes even further. Adding excessive exercise without proper recovery can increase stress on the body. Instead of improving results, it can make the system less stable. A more effective approach is to adjust your strategy to match how your body is functioning now. Start with muscle. Maintaining muscle mass becomes a priority, not just for appearance, but for metabolism. Including resistance training and adequate protein intake helps preserve muscle and supports a higher baseline energy use. Next, focus on daily movement. Structured workouts are important, but so is what happens outside of them. Increasing general activity, walking more, reducing long periods of sitting can significantly impact overall energy expenditure. Then look at nutrition quality. Rather than focusing only on reducing calories, focus on building meals that support satiety and stability. Balanced meals with protein, fiber, and moderate energy intake help regulate hunger and reduce the need for constant adjustments. Sleep needs to be treated as part of the system. Improving sleep quality supports recovery, hormone balance, and energy levels. Even small improvements can have a noticeable effect over time. Stress management also becomes more important. This doesn't require major lifestyle changes. Consistent routines, breaks during the day, and awareness of stress triggers can help reduce its overall impact. The key insight is this: weight loss doesn't become impossible with age, it becomes more dependent on structure. The body becomes less responsive to extremes and more responsive to consistency. When you align your approach with how your body is changing, progress becomes more predictable. Instead of forcing results, you create conditions that support them. This shift is what allows long-term progress. Because the goal is not just to lose weight once, but to maintain results without constantly starting over. When your strategy matches your current physiology, you reduce friction. You spend less time fighting your body and more time working with it. And that's what makes the process sustainable. In the end, age doesn't remove your ability to change your body, it changes how you need to approach it. If you found this explanation helpful, consider subscribing for more content that breaks down health and metabolism topics in a clear and practical way. In the description, you'll find a structured summary of the key elements discussed here, so you can review them and apply them step by step in a way that fits your current routine.